Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another live stream. Tonight we are live with, on my side, Otis, who owns Dirty River Bikes, Bicycle Works. In the center we have Andy, who, the owner of STS Bikes. And then on the far side we have Josh, who is the fabricator for STS Bikes. So I wrote in the description that STS is designed in Indiana and fabricated in Michigan. I don't know if you guys use that language, but I think, and if you want to introduce STS bikes to everybody, we could start there. So you give your own description instead of what I said.
Yeah, we started our company about 6 years ago here in Rushville, Indiana. Um, and then because of circumstances, we've moved our production up to Westland, Michigan. Josh and his family decided to join in, buy into the company, and so yeah, we still do. Um, I like to say I'm the lead designer, but it's a group effort. We kind of trust everybody that's that we care about their opinion. I don't always care about Josh's opinion, but
Well,
yeah, yeah. Still do the design work down here in Rushville.
Yeah, so you guys have had a number of models over the years, but lately you had been focused on a drop bar gravel bike, the
Yep.
Crusader, fairly race oriented. But then since you are a custom company, I know you've made kind of rando versions, you've made bike packing versions, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But I know when we started chatting, you were talking about one of the ideas and the kind of the focus of the stream is you wanted to branch out into something different.
Yeah, we had the main bike that we focused on for I don't know 2.5 3 years was our gravel killer. That bike has kind of gone by the wayside. That bike was really good for about 30 to 50 miles. And it just kind of happened that me and my buddy Tom Southwood were sitting around just kind of talking about what we wanted to do with bikes, and he came up with the idea of the Crusader. Um, he and I together, and then from there, I don't know. It's been a thing in the back of my mind. Like I want to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do something that steel bike enthusiasts like. Um, I like the idea of a bike that goes drop bar and flat bar. So I don't know. It's really been on my mind. Like I want to do something I want to do an ATB. Um, but it's not been my thing. That's not been the thing that I know and I've been riding. I mean, I'm twice as old as Josh, so been riding drop bars for a long time. But yeah, looking to do something different.
Yeah, it's interesting because someone asked in the beginning of the chat, "What's the difference between ATB and a gravel bike?" And I all these categories of cycling are so fluid and have like these blurry borders, even on the end of mountain biking towards ATB. So, in my mind, it means something that can have slightly wider tires than a gravel bike, if you want them to be, and then in general, running some kind of alt bar, which would be sweet bars, Jones bars, slightly sweet bars, whatever, crazy bars, all the stuff Velo Orange makes or whatever. That's kind of what I consider an ATB. And our one friend, when we were just out at Nutmeg, Nor'easter in Connecticut, described an ATB as always the wrong bike. He was like, it's too slow on the road. It's not quite good enough for the single track. But I thought that was funny. But when I was telling my buddy Ben that I was on the bike tour with, he was like, "Well, I consider it always the right bike. It's just good enough to do everything." So I don't know. That's kind of what I look at it as, both those sides of the coin, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of new to me. Um, but like this is the first one because we got a prototype that we made. Josh and I got together yesterday. Since when did we meet? We were at your place. Was that middle of October?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, you're asking
Yeah.
me or Josh? Sorry, I was listening to. I was
yeah,
reading the
when
chat.
we were out riding with Brian.
Yeah. Yeah. Mid October.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it was kind of, I don't know, it just kind of really clicked with me. Is like, you know what, that we could do something different. We could do something. Um, yeah. I don't know. So yeah, this bike so far from what we've seen, um, it's we just put one together, so it's not like we're not like the biggest experts on it. Um, but it's fantastic, you know.
So is that
Yeah, we
kind of
went
go
down
ahead.
there and we started building it up last night. So just a prototype. Um, and we rode around just the parking lot really because it got cold. Andy doesn't like the cold,
Oh,
and then
come
it
on.
got dark. So we don't really we're not really fond of riding in the dark and in the cold. But no, it was really smooth. Like it's gonna be good. And the good thing about like our prototyping too is doing this is just riding it that little bit. We found a few things that we need to tweak before we go into like production mode of it. So, but no, it should be. And exactly what you said, I kind of like that. Always the wrong bike because we kind of like that. The things that make you laugh like that, always the wrong bike. But yeah, just bigger tires than like a gravel bike, something you can ride on all day long.
Yeah.
Well, I know that like one of the guys that I really like to watch, not just yourself, Tim, uh, but Russ from Pathless Pedal.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, the idea that you can do any kind of thing you want. If you want to go out on the road, you want to go on a trail, on a dirt road, bike packing. Um, yeah, that's what we're kind of hoping to have is the bike you can do anything and everything, um, and be comfortable at the same time.
Yeah, that's what again, coming back from Nutmeg Nor'easter, it's so cool to see what people are building as like ATBs because a lot of people are going totally different directions from something like what you guys are doing to like trying to adapt old bikes to make them work in this way, but those kind of routes are what I absolutely love because at Nutmeg we're bombing a country road. So you want like the bike still to be able to handle like a fast road descent when you're getting up over 30 or whatever. But then all of a sudden we're on some rocky single track. And that's kind of where I find the upright position to be valuable because I used to always think that I needed drop bars. I thought like I need multiple
Same.
hand
Yeah.
positions to keep my hands comfortable. And then once I rode a bike where my hands were always comfortable, I'm like, oh, I guess you don't. If you're not spending all day in the wind on a long road, it, there's and your turns are every different direction, and your trail is changing constantly. You know, there's like a different way to build a bicycle. Like
And I like what I ride all the time is I've got a little route that I do here in Rushville, Indiana, and I'm going around cornfields. It's chip and seal, a little bitty hills, nothing much. And I always kind of feel like the drop bars are perfect for it. But at the same time, you know, sometimes you just want to go out and be comfortable. Um, I think sometimes when you're in that position, you're not. It's harder to think that you're kind of sightseeing. And I like to, when I used to ride with my wife, she used to be a school teacher. Now she's a public librarian, yeah, the Rushville Public Library. But we used to go out and we would go ride and we would stop. And we'd have to stop at every bridge and just kind of check out, see if there's any fish in the creek, stop and look at trees and look for Bigfoot. You got to look for Bigfoot, obviously. Um, but, uh, but yeah, I don't know. I think there's,
yeah,
but I think when I love my drop bar bike. I'm never getting rid of my Crusader. I absolutely love it. It's like a perfect bike. Um, but man, I tell you what, if you saw our short video, when we got done riding that bike, I went home and I'm like, I gotta cut this thing up. I gotta put this out because we're giggling like school children. I mean, doing skids and just, oh man, I just loved it. So it's a different way. And that's what we saw when we were riding with you, Tim, is just seeing a different way of riding the bike. Um, there's not a right way, just go ride and have fun.
that's really what I picked up from Otis when we met, and we met like it's a mutual cycling friend introduced us, and it's like this guy's about to open a bike shop in Akron, and I'm like yeah whatever, and but then it was like he was like oh do you know about this like cut that goes through these abandoned factories, and we're like no. And then it was like more and more. It was like, okay, I need a bike that can do.
Wait, let's dial this back a bit.
Okay, all right.
It was every Wednesday we were going to go play in rush hour traffic on the busiest, biggest roads in Akron. Granted, all those roads are on road diets now and getting bike lanes because there weren't that many cars. But we were playing in rush hour traffic after, let's say, half a beer at that time of day, and just nailing it, going to other of the busiest streets of Akron fast with cars, and I was just freaking out and I was scared to death. And I'm like, you know what, we can do this off-road. And they're like, whatever. And so I started showing them stuff, and then the Splore Lord, Large Marge, basically lit her entire world's on fire from my little teaser 8 years ago. But,
so it really became like we were like, we're here, we want to go here, and we would just be like, okay, that's Market Street and Main Street. And me and my friends, we didn't care. We just rode through traffic like we lived in New York City or something. And, and he was like, there's other ways to get around.
I thought I was going to die every Wednesday. I thought I was going to die. And so, So, now we
that was my
barely
experience riding with Tim.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say, too.
Now you think you're going to die in a different way. On your own.
But when we rode together, I stopped paying attention. I'm like, I don't care anymore. We rode near the railroad tracks, and we got near cars, and I stopped looking. I'm like, they're going to stop. If they don't stop, I don't care anymore.
I took them on the, so we went downtown Cuyahoga Falls, Route 8 gravel. I was thinking Honda Hills, but after the Route 8 gravel, I was like, I don't think they're ready for this yet.
Honda Hills is smoother than the Route 8 gravel, though. Yeah. Well, there's always next time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We need to have a good test sesh.
Well, yeah, we'll be prepared next time.
Yeah.
I know what bike to bring now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's get into that. So I know we had talked a little bit about the ATB, and then you guys got a little chance to nerd out about bike geometry and sent a couple emails. So you guys got a prototype built. So, like I said, you have a drop bar gravel bike. So with what you've gone with the geometry on your prototype, what are you guys seeing besides tire clearance? Obviously, I assume you've built some tire clearance in there, but so what makes the geometry different and like higher stack, longer trail?
Did you listen to anything that we said? Or you're just like, these guys, give me a break.
Well, we were trying to figure out the name. We did give some suggestions, and we told everybody your opinion matters, but we probably won't listen to it anyways. So,
yeah. No, we went with what did we do, Josh? Was it 68-degree head tube? Was that what?
I knew I was gonna be quizzed on this, so I made sure I had the print.
So we did. We listened to Otis on the head tube angle. The one thing we did try on this first one was we tried a bent seat post or seat tube, and we don't like it, to be honest with you. The way that it seems to work out when we put everything together, the bike seems small, so that's probably not something we're going to go with unless somebody really, really wants it. But yeah, we listened, and then the one thing that we got from you guys was about the change state length, and so we went into the print, we put it in there, and then I got nervous about it, and so we kind of shortened it up. But what we found is that even though we shortened up that chain stay length, we can add more to it. The bike rode really, really well. But it ended up being like our Crusader, the chainstay length that we went with actually wasn't it like a centimeter shorter than the Crusader, Josh?
Yeah, when everything was said and done, well, it was shorter when we put it on the print, and then I added even more while I was building it because it just seemed too short. So I added even more, and then after writing it, now we're gonna add another probably 10 or 15 centimeters to it.
Millimeters.
Yeah, millimeters.
Yeah, millimeters.
Centimeters.
Yeah, he's
Centimeters, yeah. No,
Otis is down for the centimeters.
I want to be able to jump between the back tire and the seat tube,
Yeah.
like a flaming cat through a flaming hoop.
Yeah, we're not making a Rivendell here. Like,
But no, we were able to get. I went with a Terraville tire that was on the tire says it's 2.2, but once you blow it up, it's 2.25 with a velocity rim that gave it a little bit of width there.
like a blunt 35
And
or
Dooley?
Yep, the blunt SS.
SS. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they were having a sale, so I got a set of wheels. But yeah, they're we're going to go ahead and lengthen that out a little bit because I think that Josh, well, we don't think we can get 3-inch tires on it, but I think with the sport design that we have, we can probably do a 2.8 at least.
Mm.
Barely anybody's making them these days, so
Yeah.
that's fine.
Also, then if you were doing like a 55, you could still put fenders on if you wanted to, right?
Mhm.
So
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, and like when we started developing our bike company, a lot of the people that got involved in the early days were roadies out of Indianapolis. And so like a 38 mil tire was huge for us. And so for us to get up to this is getting out of what's been the norm. But man, this is so much better. No way around. I fell in love with it. Within 100 feet, I'm like, I love this bike.
So one thing we were kind of curious about is, this is one thing we were just chatting about, hanging out the other day, is so since you're a custom bike company, I brought this up. I know like with the Crusader, like I mentioned, you had our friend Brian, and he wanted more of a bike packing bike, so you're able to like beef up the rear triangle. Or I think we were talking about, or you had been talking about earlier, you made like a rando version, so you made it lighter, like flexier steel maybe. So so when you guys make like a model of bike, is there like a cost benefit to keeping it within a realm, but then still being able to modify it a bit? So is it like once Josh has the jig set up, is it like you do a run? Because I know like with Gunner, like when you used to deal with them, they had like a standard model you can order, and then everything you change, they kind of charge a little extra for. And I'm just kind of curious. So if someone was to order this new bike and they're like, hey, I do want the stays longer, would you be like, no, like we're within this range because that's what makes it so it's an affordable bike? Or how does all that work with a custom bike brand? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we do have our, in terms of like sticking to what our insurance companies ask us to do, we have we have a set geometry that we kind of stay within, and so there's certain parameters we don't want to go beyond. But like the thing that we want to do for next year is build the back end, and so for the most part, when people want to do custom geometry, it's adding a little bit of reach, adding a little bit of stack, taking a little bit of stack away. So that's the kind of thing that we kind of look at. But we're pretty easy to get along with. And for the most part, we don't build ahead. We'd like to be busy enough that we're building ahead, and that is the plan for next year. But you know, anybody that's come to us and said, "Hey, can we do something?" We're pretty easy to get along with.
So you're more on the custom side than like a size run side, if I hear you right.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Pretty much, it's all one at a time. Every once in a while, I've got 2 different jigs, so if I am doing a couple, I can do two bikes at once. But usually it's one at a time.
Okay.
So however you want to change it as it goes along. Usually like when we got someone that's going to order one, we sit down and talk with them, like video chat, something like that, figure out what they want done with it, any kind of extras or add-ons or anything like that. So it's all custom, and then you get to work with us as we build it.
And for the most part, what people want is color. I mean, most people don't do too much into what they want their geometry to be. In terms of our history of STS, there's been two guys that really dug into the geometry, and both of those guys helped us develop a completely different bike. From Tommy Southwood being the Crusader and Matt Tanner being the gravel killer. For the most part, people, when they think custom, it's, what color are we going to pick?
Okay. And so basically then, having models is more for your website because it makes it easier to sell bikes because people are coming to you, they want an American-made bike and the color they want. So giving a couple options gives them a baseline to start because they're not, because even watching Brian's video, who we rode with, like, he's putting the question marks over his head when you talk about the tubing profiles because that's not his world. So he wanted to work with you guys, but he wasn't a nerd about all the little details, right?
Yeah, and Brian's fantastic. He'll ask the question, and then he's open to admitting that he has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. No, he's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, what we're kind of planning on for next year is being ready to go. With it, I saw the idea from Cervelo at the Tour de France that they build all their back ends are the same, and I'm like, hey, if we do that, because for the most part, what people want is a little bit more reach, or a little bit less reach. So that's kind of the plan for next year. Our models are going to be set, and then just because from a custom steel bike made in the United States, I mean, we can get it to you in less than a month. Nobody does that.
No. I mean, I think like what Weigel's like 10 years out, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, and $12,000, right? So.
Yeah. If you want to pay us $12,000, we'll take your money.
And deliver in 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see any wrong side of this. I want commission on those sales, though, please.
Oh, yeah, you give me a $12,000 sale, I'll share it with you, man.
So your next step is, so you've prototyped it, you're going to do a second prototype and then ride it again and see where you're at, then you'll put it up on the website and...
Yeah, I feel like we've got some things we want to try. There's some, so, once you have the frame built, then it's a matter of kind of putting some different parts on to make sure it feels the right way. We tried a direct mount stem. We also did a 110 stem. And then it got to be 20 degrees outside. And so Josh went home, but yeah. We want to try a few different handlebars, different stems, see how it feels. And then, everybody that's in the development process with SDS is going to give it a chance to ride. And then we'll make number 2. And then after that, it comes down to sizing because we're going to make one that fits you guys.
Yeah, does it have like sciatica treatments? I hear that's good.
I've been healthy for a while now.
Well, we can't. You have to hold on to the handlebars though, Tim.
Yeah.
Oh, is that part of the insurance thing you were talking about earlier? I don't know. I think I'm out. No.
You put your helmet on and crash. That's not my fault.
I know. My God.
Yeah.
How stupid. Like, of all the dumb stuff I do, I crash at 5 miles an hour at the beginning of a 380-mile tour.
I think there's a song somewhere. It's like, I can ride my bike with no handlebars.
Yeah. Maybe
I have a scar on my left knee. We had everybody from Michigan down to Rushville, and we were going to go out to ride. And the day before we went, our buddy Speedy Sloth came down, and me and Speedy were 3 miles away from my house going out to do a Andy and Speedy's day out, and I wasn't paying attention. So I have a nice little scar on my left knee for not paying attention and cutting that wide open and bouncing my head off the pavement. So
yeah.
I think Speedy's just bad luck with us.
Speedy's cool shit, man.
Yeah, but Speedy and I were going to go out and do that 110-mile ride that one day, and 5 miles in, I get bit by a dog.
The dog just wanted to be on Speedy's camera roll.
I do have to say, guys, tell me if you've ever seen a cooler beer can than this. Steven Marino, who's in the chat, gave these to me over the weekend.
That's
Oh,
pretty
cool.
awesome. I saw that. I'm like, that looks like a PB Blaster bottle.
That is awesome.
Yeah, isn't that cool? This is a brewery up by the lake in Cleveland, Collision Bend. But yeah.
Helps with sciatica.
Yeah, helps with sciatica.
This is just Coke. This is just Coke, I swear.
Yeah, so this is really cool. Like, and I'm really looking forward to trying out the bike. Did you guys go with any influences? I know Otis sent you some geometry information. You guys already had like a little bit of an idea, like like you said, because like this is not your domain. Like, so when you're designing a new bike, you're thinking, yeah, like we said, all the stuff, head angle, chainstay length.
Yeah, we threw a. So yeah. Anyway, when they came to Akron, they threw out like, hey, this is what we're thinking, and so. You know, my brain exploded,
Yeah.
and Tim was like, I want a steel bike with a steel fork and top tube.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, well, I think I can play with that. But I threw out a lot of ideas. So what things resonated with you? Because like I've wished to fabricate a bike many times in my past, but I've not done that. I've sold bikes, I've ridden bikes, I've messed with forks and wheels, but like what of the weird stuff I sent you, what resonated? You were like, I think this is a bike.
Well, you know, it's okay. So it's funny to me because like the biggest thing that resonated with me was the thing that I was afraid of, which was your the chainstay lanes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I want to do that, and then we just did it, and I'm like, then once we have the we have this naked frame sitting in the bike stand, and I'm like, yeah, we should have listened to Otis on that and had that thing a little bit longer.
He says this a lot.
But no, I mean that's the thing. Like endurance bikes, I feel, and I told you this when we were at your store. I'm like, I feel pretty confident with, but the ATB, I mean, it's something where I'm kind of learning. We've got friends out in Missouri that hit us up about doing something different, and we've just never been able to get it done. And a big part of it is having somebody with some knowledge that says this is what we ought to be doing. And I think that's where we put one down on paper. Let's go ahead and try it out. Let's see where we're at. And because really, when you're doing a new bike, I mean, you don't know until you build it. You look at it on paper, you think you got it, you build it, you put it up on the jig, you put it in the bike stand, you think you've got something, you got to go ride the thing, so it's got to get at least mocked up. But no, we listened to you, because we did. Okay, Josh, now we're going to test it. 68-degree head tube, is that right?
69.
That's
Nice.
what I said.
69-degree head tube.
Could have gone 68.
420 chain stays.
Could have gone
Oh, wait,
70, but it was a sweet spot.
450 axle. We went 450 axle to crown. But yeah, the only thing that we heard from you that we just absolutely ignored was the bottom bracket drop. We raised it up, so it's a little bit taller than what you were thinking about.
Yeah, even with the big 29ers?
Yeah, but I think so. Some of that is the history of making a randonneuring bike, and the endurance frame is like I am cautious about going too low on the BB drop. But this, again, this is number one, and it feels tall. I mean, I think the bike does feel a little bit tall, but it also feels fantastic.
Do you guys go with the higher stack? Because I know that was one of the things Otis is talking about too. Because like my Gunner has a bunch of spacers, and again, I'm anti-suspension corrected forks because they just look stupid. But also, I wish it didn't have as many spacers because that also looks stupid. So, but I don't want to be slammed. That's not the point of an ATB. The point is to be able to be comfortably, fairly upright, and I don't know. I do think in this market you have to choose. Are you going fully performance? Like, are you going to try and compete with people who want to do the Tour Divide, or are you doing like the people who go to Nutmeg and want to have fun and they still want their bike to look cool? And that's where non-suspension corrected, in my mind, comes in. But
That's that's kind of where my mind is. I want people to be comfortable. I want it to look cool. So yeah, we went. The head tube is 160, and then the fork is 450 axle crown. So I mean, it's some of the bikes we've seen that we kind of compare to when they do a 450 axle crown in this size. The head tube's quite a bit smaller. But yeah, so and then on the prototype, the way that we built it, we also had like 100 mil rise on the handlebars. So yeah, just total comfort aspect.
mm-hmm. What do those numbers sound like to you? Because you know numbers, I don't numbers.
Yeah, like
Oh, good.
on
And
paper,
it's a 54.
What's that?
It's a 54 centimeter bike too. That's the other thing.
Yeah, and I think like on paper we're right around like 630, I think, for stack.
What does that mean to you? Because I don't know numbers.
Oh, I have to play with stuff.
You have to see it all laid
Yeah,
out
no.
to have the evidence. Yeah, because
No,
I
it's
listen to
not.
people like Russ, in Bike Sauce. They could throw out these numbers and they all know what it means. He always then goes into his whole, but what does that translate to in the ride feel? I am the opposite, where these numbers just do not hold in my head. Like, but I could go to Bike Insights and I put up different bikes against the ones I like. But that's how I mean, that's the only way I could really do it with bikes I've ridden versus new bikes that come out. I can't.
I like this quote.
I am too a fan of steel bikes with top tubes.
Yeah. No. Yeah. The head tube number. Head tube is. You can, like, if you're doing an external headset versus an internal headset, like that can play with your head tube numbers, so it makes it whatever. But, like the reason one of the we were trying to make, like I mentioned the Salsa Fargo to you guys, and like it's a uniquely tall bike, and most people who are touring and then touring off road, and then not 20 years old, are having a more chill position, and so having that taller front end makes it so you, like, anyone can duck down and get tiny in the wind on even on high handlebars. And there was that crazy I don't know, Dutch guy that did a crazy breakaway in the wind in the Pro Tour with like 36 millimeter handlebars up here, and he was like 6'4", and he dropped everybody. And it's like, it's more about getting narrow than it is getting low. And on a tour, if you're getting low, you're probably asleep in your tent.
Yeah.
So it's more about comfortable and hand positions and stuff. So that's why I thought, like front end, like you
Higher
can always
stack.
make a stem or flip your handlebars down or put drop bars if you want to get low. That getting higher, very few bikes get higher well.
Well, a lot of them. I mean, there's so many bikes that are one company in particular. They stretch everybody out, and I'm like, who are the people with that long arms? That, I mean, it's the company that's named after the big hole in the ground. But everything is so long, and I'm like, it's so uncomfortable. Yeah, I totally agree. That's why, because we've made two of these. The first one was for Speedy. And so we kind of had a little bit of an idea of what we were looking at. And so we felt pretty confident we could make a comfortable bike. But yeah, I totally agree, man. That's, you can get narrow, but yeah, if you have to stretch out and be uncomfortable, if you're going to be on it all day, it's not a pleasant thing.
Nobody's
So I
getting
just
younger.
looked it up. I just pulled up.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I just pulled up the Salsa Fargo Geo, and their stack is 643, and we're about 630. So we're right around that
Oh, huh.
same area.
Yeah, it's one of the things.
So
I mean,
basing on something that you're familiar with.
yeah, I mean, I rode my gunner to Michigan. I did 2 back-to-back over 100-mile days on a sweep bar bike, and it was the same thing. That's where I realized, like, no, I would be more efficient on my drop bar gravel bike or even a road bike because this was paved. But I was like, I was always comfortable, and when I did get in the headwind, I did grab the front of the drops and got myself low, and was still, and I'm riding a touring load and all that, so it's not like anything's going to make me that fast.
Did
But
you
it,
win?
yeah, yeah. But it was like you can you can deal with that stuff that everyone acts like you can't. Like how often do you see
Yeah.
anyone? How often do you even see pros riding in the drops? They're riding on the hoods. You know what I mean? So,
Well, it's been scientifically proven that anywhere other than holding on to the drops is slow. So,
yeah,
I mean, anyway, holding on to the hoods is the fastest way to do it. If you get down the drops, you're slowing yourself down. That's like the guys that do I've been watching those guys doing hill climbing events,
oh
and
yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking about cutting my drop bars off next year. I've never touched
We
them.
used to make that joke all the time. Say, shave some weight. Just cut.
Yeah,
you never
cut
use
that-
those drops.
cut
Cut them
that-
off.
cut it off.
Shave some weight. Yeah.
I'm not touching it. I don't need that stuff.
Alex here asked, and I don't know if we touched on this yet, but what's the offset for the fork?
Like 150?
Josh, what's the fork offset? Isn't it 50?
Let's go.
Oh, I don't know offhand. I can look.
Probably 50 or 55. Yeah, and so like on your Crusader, you tend to. I don't think you weld your own forks currently, right? So you go with kind of more stock forks. So that was kind of like I threw out different options for axle to crown and stuff like that, where it's like in these ranges you can get a lot of options for, like, people can get a steel fork, they can get a carbon fork, they can get a shock fork. And like 450 is a cool number because like they came out with that Rudy XL, so you can run a shock with a 2.2 if you want to get, like, if you want to blaze at 20 miles an hour into the nastiest stuff, you could do that. But then you can also fit a big giant tire in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, offset's 50.
Oh,
on the Crusader, we've done nothing but
Tim
carbon
Welch
forks
subscribed to the
on the
channel.
Crusader. We've not put a steel fork on one, but that is kind of one of the things that we're looking at with this bike. We've made forks before, but with what with what we've done in the past, it's always been a carbon fiber fork. So that's it's one of the things I'm excited about with the ATB, is being able to do a steel fork. Because there are definitely people that believe in it. That you get the vibration dampening effect of a steel frame, you might as well get it on the steel fork as well. And they're not, yeah, they're heavier, but it's not crazy. But yeah, and then also on the 450, it's easy to get a 450 suspension fork as well.
yeah, and I would say too, and I mean I know there are carbon forks that are designed for bike packing and stuff, but one of the things about like the Gunner 2 is having 3 pack mounts, and it just makes that bike so versatile. So over the summer when I do like our bike packing trips, like with a mixed group and mixed speeds, and I don't have to be like, I'm just a stronger rider than other people in the group. So then I run a front rack with panniers, and I have room for whatever I want. And then riding back home from Connecticut, I pulled the rack off. I went just bags and like more of a classic bike packing setup with no racks. Like it was frame bag, 2 Swift bags like tucked under the handlebars. And that is like kind of one thing I love about the steel fork. It gives me that ability to do whatever I want with it. And so actually what I did too is I mounted an extra water bottle cage on that 3-pack mount so I could have more water, because I knew we were going to be way off in the middle of nowhere. And so like, again, I love having my drop bar gravel bike have a carbon fork. It drops some weight off the front of it, and I'm not putting a front rack on that bike anyways. I'm not running it with fenders or anything like that. But when it comes to an ATB, the full steel setup I think makes sense. You're not you're trying to be able to have the most options possible, I think, with a bike like this, where you have a model that people could use for as many different things as they want. And also, we are talking about weight, but if you are going to load it down and you're going to have a bag, not even load it down, even just have a bag with your stuff, which is how people ATV ride. You have your stuff. I even buy a 6-pack and bring it back from the bar. Like, the weight of the fork is not a deal breaker. It's not.
Right.
It's the lightest thing. It's the most inconsequential part of the whole thing. I could drop more weight right here than a carbon fork would make the difference.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. You look skinny to me, but that's. But no, I totally agree. I mean, you can. It's easy to deal with the way of the human being to drop that. And we've made bikes for people where we don't use butted steel, and we have used steel forks, all the way down to the CR1, which my 54 centimeter CR1, which is Crusader lightweight, was under 18 pounds. But I don't know. I think sometimes we get a little bit crazy when it comes to worrying about the weight. But being able to do the bike packing the way that you want, be able to take the things that you need. And that's and you're right, though, a lot of people, what they're looking for is to be able to carry more water than anything else.
Yeah, no, it really matters. I mean, and again, I rarely ever ride without bags anyway. So it's like, especially like we ride through the winter here. So it's like I've always got a bag with a down jacket and extra stuff.
Wait, should I bring my wallet?
What does that mean?
Joy Boys?
What?
Remember the Joy Boys winter ride? Should I bring my wallet?
Yeah, we're never going to stop. We are friends with a custom bag maker who was like, should I put a bag on my bike? Are we going to stop somewhere? And I'm like, it's 33 degrees out. Yes, put a bag on your bike. Have extra stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not.
And then they all got flat tires. And Tim's sitting there with a down coat that he had in his bag as everybody's freezing trying to fix flat tires. And I'm like,
Yeah, I'm a practical. Fast is also being prepared, right? I mean, it's not fast if you have to call a ride to get home, like.
And these are some of my most favorite people in
Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah, good.
But
yeah,
that, like, should I bring my wallet? Like,
yeah, it's not the way we think.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the cool thing, like what we've been talking about too, about the ATB is like before my family became part of the company, the bike we were trying to push was the gravel killer. Trying to get pro racers, trying to get that into the market. Since then, it's been the Crusader, which has been more gravel racing or just out gravel, backpacking, bike packing, But there's been something that's been kind of nagging on both Andy and I for the last little while of like, we're missing something. And we had the adventure for a long time, but no one ever bought that. And it was one of those that was like, it was there, but it wasn't there. It wasn't good enough. It was good, but it wasn't there. So it always been trying to figure out what that there is, what that bike is. I think this getting enough people to give us insight, enough people saying kind of the same thing of this is what we need to do, this is the kind of bike we want. We finally collected enough data, and we both kind of made the idea that this is what we need to go for.
And we've had
going down meeting with you guys kind of solidified it too. It was like, you rode my orange bike, which is kind of, that's the adventure, and I kind of modified it to get closer to where we wanted it to be. And then talking with Otis there, it was just like that kind of solidified it, gave us the ideas that we needed to go and like that push that we needed.
And we've had people touring on the Crusader. I mean, all the way across the country. So, but yeah. Oh, go ahead, Otis.
Oh, but so my favorite, it just disappeared from your website, but you made a Joker colored themed drop bar fat bike, which
my fat tire bike.
Yeah,
that's off the website.
Yeah,
they got taken. Oh man,
yeah,
we'll have to yell at Andy because he controls the website.
Who's in charge of this company, man.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I like these people immediately. So once we're done deciding this limited bike, we're gonna make this the adventure fat bike that can go the places that no one else can, because that's my jam. So
that bike is pretty fun, and it definitely gets the looks. I took it out Global Fat Tire Bike last year, and there was like 200 people, and it was catching everybody's eyes. And we're all afterwards hanging around the bonfire, and this guy's like, "Man, did you see that green and purple fat tire with the drop bars?" I said, "Yeah, I was on it." He's like, "That was you? Where are you parked? I need to get a picture of that thing."
I pulled up a comment by the Akron friend here. He said, and I asked you guys this too, he said, what kind of tubing are you guys building with? And I remember you telling me you were actually using some American-made tubes right on your latest bikes?
Yeah. The two different types of tubes we use is Dedigi. Well, I mean, we do a variety of tubing. But Dedigi, which is an Italian tubing, they will go lightweight. So the CR1, we have to go in that direction. But Velo Spec is an American steel tube. It does get finished in Taiwan, but it's American steel, and a lot of the manufacturing aspect of that tubing before it gets to us is USA made.
Very cool. And I know I think you said you had used a bunch of stuff too. You guys have tried different things over the years, right? So you said you had a Columbus built bike and
Yeah, no, and it's people hear the brand names Columbus, Reynolds, and they think that it's better. The Velo Spec, I mean, I'm telling you what, you pull it out of the box when it gets shipped in. If you don't know anything about tubing, if you haven't been staring at tubes for 6 years like I have, or a welder like Josh, you can see it. I mean, it's a better quality of steel. And so even though, and I've had this discussion with with a guy out in Arizona that's a steel tubing expert. His name's Andrew as well. But he's, when we talk about quality of steel, the Velo Specs is kind of hard to beat. And so going super lightweight, when you go to that 646 on the steel tubing, or 656.
Tell us what that means. Tell us what the numbers mean. I know, but
that's, you want to tell them what?
It's useful.
Yeah, these are double butted tubes, I assume. But yeah, go ahead.
It's all about them butts.
Yeah.
So at the end of the tube, go ahead, Jeff.
They're thicker on either end where we're gonna do the welding. So, it's got a little bit more thickness on the ends, and then it's thinner in the middle. So you can still get that strength where it's welded and fitted together, and then it's a little lighter and a little flexy in the center where you want it to be. And then I have done, I've done what we use is the Dedigi and the Velo Spec, and then I've done a couple with the Columbus, and I think both of those, the Velo definitely welds better than the Columbus. Because we have done a couple with the Columbus, and just from a welding standpoint, it welds better. I'm not as much of a fan of the Columbus when I'm welding it than the other ones.
You can see it. I mean, it's grainier. That Velo Specs, it's clean looking. It's just so smooth looking. But yeah, your 646 is your thickness. And then like a lot of our standard thickness on a Crusader is the 757. So it's what is that measurement, Josh? The 7
of a millimeter.
Yeah. So it's
the ends are 0.7 of a millimeter.
Okay.
So 0.7.
So the welding side is the two numbers that are the same.
0.5 in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's on each side.
Yeah, and then 0.5 in the middle. So you've got.
And so there's some big brand name steel bikes that don't do butted steel. And some people, if you wonder what the difference is, we're picking the steel to fit the rider.
Yeah, I remember you guys talking about that with Brian since he was doing a touring bike, and he generally has some bags on the back. You're making a stouter rear triangle for his bike on the Crusader
Mm-hmm.
than you would for a racer who's never going to put any weight on that part of the bike, right?
Can I take my wallet?
Yeah. For Brian, we did. We kind of did an interesting thing. We made the front very lightweight. I mean, it's as light as we can make it. But then we added some beefy seat stays because that's where, I mean, he does put some bags on the front fork, but for the most part, when he does bike packing, he puts it all on the back. So yeah, we went with a light front, very lightweight front triangle, and then some beefy stuff on the back. And then we've also added some beefy wheels for him too, some Velocity Aero wheels.
Yeah, we've had friends ride wheels that were not made for touring and had some issues.
Well, that's what we took off of Brian's bike. Unfortunately, is somebody had put a set of wheels on, but I don't think they were exactly made for what he was doing. But we got him set up. We got him taken care of.
What was this question? Someone asked what's a typical build weight, but you kind of talked. It really depends on what you're building. That's not.
Yeah. $12,000 in 12 years, and it'll be 8 pounds. We got this. No.
We're generally in the low to mid 20s. Most of them, just the standard steel Crusaders are right around 22, 23 pounds. Like Andy said, the road bike that we made, which is the Crusader, just with as light of tubing as we can get, we got that. The full build was about 19
It
pounds.
was under 18. It was under 18.
18.
Yeah, 17.
18 pounds.
It was 17 point. Oh,
Your headphones die?
Uh-oh.
oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I lost my earbuds. Can you hear me okay still?
Yeah, you're still good. Someone said,
Okay.
would Velo spec be equal to 853 Reynolds, but that's just a specific type of Reynolds. I assume Velo spec does what everyone does, is they have different kinds of tube depending on what you're doing, right?
An 853 is just a thinner drawn tube, so it's
Yeah, no, the VeloSpec has the Elite. They have a VeloSpec Elite, VeloSpec Pro, and they do a variety of thicknesses. They can be, just a bunch of different stuff. But going back to the weight thing, just to get that out, the CR1 weighed 17.9. That was with a 35 mil Terravel Telegraph tubeless tire. So that wasn't even down to a road tire. So, and they were Hunt wheels, but they weren't the lightest weight Hunt wheels. So, if people are wanting super lightweight, steel can even be lightweight. I mean, that's something people need to know.
I have a Marin mountain bike. That's the lightest bike frame I've ever held in my life. It's insanely, but it also feels like
is that
way
a
too
real
flexy,
person?
and I would not want to. I can't believe people are mountain biking on it. So, but yeah, I also like. I think when we're getting to the ATB, I would care way more about ride quality and geometry than a pound here or there. That's not what I'm trying to get to on an ATB bike. It's just not something that's going to be relevant.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a bag with my stuff in it. Like, even if I'm not touring, I'm going to have a bag with my stuff in it most of the time. So,
Is that
Well,
is that
when
an
we build-
AI cometer?
No.
No. Okay. So, anyway, yeah, someone was asking a lot of weight and said AI next to it. And I'm like, is that a computer asking
No.
about weight on everything?
I think it's Alex.
Ow. Oh, hey. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Al. Sorry, Alex Al.
Not
But
a
yeah.
chatbot, yeah.
I mean, but yeah, with weight stuff, like the frame is what, like a tenth of the whole bike price. So it's how much you want to spend on everything versus durability. So weight is it's more about the feel and what's it built for and how sturdy you want it and stuff like that. So yeah, a good steel
Exactly.
custom bike is obscenely light. It's more about how much stuff you put on it, and if you do get ask these lovely gentlemen to make it with extremely thin drawn tubing, are you going to run it with lightweight tents and gear and stuff like
Components.
that?
Yeah,
Because if you put 80 pounds of stuff on a bike, you were like, I want the light bike, I want the zippy bike.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to ride like a wet noodle and scare you on the downhills.
Yeah.
So, yeah, weight is
Exactly.
a construct that these guys can set it up for what you're going to use it.
Yeah. And that happened with same thing. I did the Gap and C&O on my Marin, and I had set it up for like to go on a tour, and like man, that was way too much sway with the long spindle and the way it was built. It's just not what it was made for. And it's like that's just I was
Well, when we're picking out steel to put a bike together for somebody, there's math that has to get done. You kind of go off of what the person is. I mean, we've made bikes for people who are pretty big people. I'm not a small guy, but like when we were talking about Brian from Ride Long Adventures, Brian's what 5'8". I mean, he's not real big. So really, I would make the steel I would choose for him and for me would be different. We got some other options for somebody like for him. But yeah, you want to pick that steel that's going to match the rider, what they're going to do. Like for our buddy Tommy Southwood that has ridden across the country, he's going to do raw next year. He's working towards doing Ram. But he has different needs in terms of what steel goes on his bike than what you guys do there in Akron, riding around the railroad tracks. So
It's all iron rails, son. No.
Thrifty Frame Builder, who has a cool YouTube channel, he's been building a bike on there. He said, is 757 the thickest wall tube you use in your main triangles?
If you're under 250.
What's that?
Said if you're under 250, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we can go thicker, and we can go thinner, but it really kind of, we go with we want to discuss with the rider, what they're going to do, how, their size, that kind of thing. But yeah, you can go, if somebody wants to go fairly thick, I mean, it can be done. I mean, there's even non-butted tubing if you don't care and you want it to be heavy. It's not going to ride as well as what we normally make, but yeah, we can do that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, I definitely, it's been interesting because I'm tall, so I have some weight from that, but I am fair. Both of us are reasonably skinny.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah. This channel has a big following, like in our Discord server and stuff, of people who are heavier riders. And it's really interesting to read their comments about like their different opinion on saddles and tubing and like the bike they like and just all these different components. And it's like, yeah, it's an important thing to know, and that's one of the cool things about having your bike made for you. It's like you could work with the people who know what the steel is and be like, yeah, I mean, this isn't going to be right for what you're trying to do, or not. This isn't going to be right. This is what would be right for what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's there's a group we're talking to called All Bodies on Bikes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we're talking to them about. They have a lot of people that need a bike made for them. They can't go because a few years ago, I was at a shop and the bike shop owner was a big guy, quite a bit bigger than myself. And he had a frame that it cracked on him. It was a carbon fiber road bike. And when he called in to warranty that frame, because it wasn't very old, he was a shop owner and they turned him down because he was over the weight limit. And that's something people I don't think people really pay attention to much. If there's a weight limit for their warranty, it's probably a weight limit for the ride quality as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, and that's like we do a ton of wheel builds for people that are, 250, 350 or more, and
Go ahead.
Come here, bud.
Admit.
Yeah. Let's see, about 1250. So
Talk about a weight limit.
Yeah, but it's like, they build bikes and like, granted, like we sell bikes and they're like, oh, there's no weight limit, and like the wheel has 24 or 28 spokes, and it's like, give me a break. If you hit one good pothole and you're 220 pounds on a 24 hole rim, like, you're out. And so we build these things, and we build wheels and things that is dependable, because wheels are like the first thing to go, and then the frame's the next thing to go. But like, someone, it's 130 pounds, they ride a Surly and they're like, wow, that's just the most unpleasant thing. And then someone who's 230 pounds rides a Surly and it's like, oh, it's this comfortable wiggly thing. And it's because it's made to like a sturdiness standard to not fail, to be a warranty. And the nice thing about you guys is like, you can have the smoothness, the durability, hey, I dropped my bike against my bumper or my fence and it's not going to crack, but you can build it for a use case and then draw the tubing for the weight and the load, and it rides perfect if you're 120 pounds or 350, and that's a really cool thing. And
well,
I'm excited about that.
And I like taking the whole picture. That's one of the things about like our wheel partners. We can get wheels from a variety of people, but we choose Boyd wheels. They're in Greenville, South Carolina. We choose Velocity out of Grand Rapids, especially like, we talk about Brian Ride Along Adventures and his touring bike. I called up and said, hey, Jill, we've got a guy doing bike packing. What kind of wheels would you suggest? And we get the right wheel, I think that just makes a huge difference.
Is this mine now?
Both of ours.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to bring up too, is not only do we have, the custom made bike for you and for what you're doing, using it for, but we can get you wheels to match. We work with a company that will, you tell them what kind of riding you're going to do, weight you are, and they'll build you or select you out a wheel just for that as well. So not only are you getting a custom bike for you and for what you're doing, is we get a wheel set for you as well.
Yeah, I know, Andy, that's kind of your big thing is too, like, you guys are a custom steel bike fabrication company, but you're big on like everything after that as well. Wheels, components, like what is the right thing for like all down the line, right? Tire. I know we talked about tires, everything, right?
So would you say that you're really excited about this?
No, I wouldn't say that. No.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going home.
No, we had a guy this summer that we were, so he pays his deposit, and then it was a 4-day conversation before we made his bike, which is kind of what we did. Yeah. Hey, Jeff.
It was 2 days just talking about paint colors.
Yeah. But we do that with anybody. We'll take as much time to make sure we get everything right. But he asked me a question about tires, and it was 30 to 40 minutes later, I got done answering his question about tires. And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe all the information. I mean, he went and talked to Josh's dad about how I went on and on and on about tires. But, we have the info. Let's do it right. Let's find the right tire. And
yeah.
You do know we're in the rubber capital of the world right now. I mean, you want to talk about tires? I can talk about tires. Let's talk about tires.
I love talking about tires.
I mean, like really, I know Russ has talked about this, and obviously if you read on the Onheim stuff, but it's the thing that's it's the only part of the bike that's contacting the actual road, and I mean, it's like ridiculous how overlooked it is.
Would you say that it's where the rubber meets the
road? Who invited this guy? No, it matters so much. I mean, like, it's one of the things where when I think in a thumbnail from one of the bigger bike YouTube channels like Velo or Bicycle, whatever. Bicycle, yeah, whatever. Or bike. Yeah. Like, today, their thumbnail was like, it might even be in GCN, is this the future of gravel bikes? And it was all suspension. And I'm like, man, I don't need a Crusader with suspension. I would use supple tires. Like, I think tires are just so important. Like, and people are doing everything they can to not ride good tires and then fix it in a way that is very expensive and breaks and is not necessary.
So Josh, what's the biggest tire you've ridden fast?
Biggest tire I've ridden fast?
Yeah.
I think right now I'm running the Terravel Ram or updrafts, and those are 45. So I think that's probably the fastest. I don't think I've gotten my fat tire up that as fast as I normally get my.
That's fast down. It's fast downhill for him.
It is very fast downhill.
Not fast uphill, but fast downhill.
What size wheels is your fat tire? Just so you know.
It could also be the rider that's taking it up the hill.
Yeah. What size wheel is on your fat tire right now?
Those
Are they 27.5 or 26?
4.2s?
27.5.
27.5. Okay. Yeah, I want to get you solidly into the 60 to 70 range, just to yeah. I want you to ride a fast bike with 60 to 70 range. That's my hope for you, and we'll start doing some things.
You always try to get. I don't know. I go studded tires for winter. I've never gone fat bike. We don't. Too unpredictable here. I just find the studded tires to be the better option.
Oh, 60 to 70? That's not even. That's way sub 4-inch.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
Metric.
You're beyond where I numbers that I don't.
Yeah, 60 is like 2.4, 70 is like 2.6 or 7.
Yeah, I run.
I'll definitely be going fast when we get this ATB built. We'll be testing that out at some speeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I go 55s on my ATB.
I will be. Andy rides the brakes downhill. I'll actually let it fly. Andy loves his brakes.
Brake to live another day, as they say.
Tim knows that from riding. Tim would know that from riding with me one day.
I am not the world's best descender, that's for sure. So yeah, you don't have to. No shame over here. Like I've never hit 50. That's for sure.
Yeah, I figured out a cool thing is the people that rode motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
Descending is much easier because they're used to descending at,
Yep.
50 to 70 miles an hour. I'm being generous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, all the people who've ridden motorcycles, like descending on a bike is like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah, they don't.
And the rest of us are like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
So.
And we're all from places that don't have like crazy descents. Like you saw here, we have steep stuff, but it's short. You're still gonna top out at 35, 36, 37 without pedaling before you get going faster than that. And I know we're talking Indiana, Michigan, so we're not in Colorado, we didn't grow up in the Pacific Northwest where you're going to get up over 40 by just going down a hill, so.
Right.
Yeah. No, I taught these guys how to climb hills when we did our ride in May. They would, every time we went down a hill, they'd drop me like crazy. Because I'm like, I have too much to live for to crash going fast. But they were surprised every hill that we went up that I passed every single one. There's 4 of us on the ride, and I passed every one of them on every time we went uphill.
Yeah, Andy, when we climbed up off the gravel up to the Freedom Trail, like that little tough section, I looked back and you were right there. So I was impressed.
That's
Let's be honest,
15%.
Tim.
That's no
I
joke.
had to wait for you. I didn't know where we were going at the top of the hill, so I'm slowing down.
Okay, Rody.
Checking out the view, that kind of thing. But I walked up Cadillac Hill. There was no way.
Yeah, he did not ride Cadillac.
Oh, come on.
Brian,
Next time.
Yeah, give me some pedals that I'm not clipped in. I'll climb that thing.
We have seen at least 20 of our friends upside down doing the turtle with their bike on top of them on the side of, in the middle of Cadillac Hill.
Yeah. So. It's crazy. What is the percentage on Cadillac?
25.
It's 25%. So this is a short but steep rough brick climb in Akron. So not only is it steep, but you have to you have to balance yourself because it's it's not smooth.
Oh yeah. Well, I do want to let you know that the hill that we climbed, that I was up at the front of our little group and I was waiting. I was like, I slowed down to make sure I didn't pass Tim too far. That hill, nobody put it in their video. Of the 3 videos we did for that day of ride, nobody put that in. But everybody put in that I was walking up Cadillac Hill. And my friend Matt Tanner, who was a beast of a rider, he made sure to text me that he couldn't believe I walked up that hill. So we all made me look bad. That was great.
Yeah. I mean, welcome to Akron.
No, yeah, Cadillac Hill's a whole nother thing. Like you were an exceptional climber, and it took a while. Like it's a different thing.
I didn't ride it the first.
It's not a road climb,
times.
and it's not a mountain bike climb. It's somewhere in the middle. And
I tried walking up the brick and couldn't even walk up the brick with my SBD shoes. Man, I had to go over to the sidewalk to even walk up it.
Yeah,
it's brutal. And it was one of the big things about something that steep is the balance. That was my problem at first. I would lean back and the front tire would pop up. It's so steep. And then I would try to stand up and then you would spin out, being in such an easy gear. So it's really it's a skill about.
And every couple of bricks, I think it must have been from horses, but every couple of bricks were elevated.
Yeah.
I don't know, 5 or 6.
That's what I was noticing. Yeah.
So you think you're I got this, and then it's oh no.
Yeah, you hit one of those. Every little bit you hit one of those bricks that just kind of sets you back a little bit. And it is the bricks are kind of like scales where they're all kind of at an inner little angle, and then there's the next one it's a weird.
You walked road. You were walking too, Josh.
I did. I made it to the fire hydrant though, and I started popping too many wheelies, and I'm like, yeah.
Now it's fun to take people out there. It's such a random, cool thing that just there's a couple of them around that area that are just super gnarly, but that's the coolest one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What are you doing? Just checking your Instagram over there?
I'm chatting on the chat while we chat. I didn't do that.
Yeah. Anyways, I want to get back to the bike a little bit. To see what. I think there were a couple other questions in the chat early on about the idea of designing an ATB. And Andy, you were saying you do come from the roadie world. That's your background.
Yeah, I mean it was 1987. I think is when I first started hitting drop bars. And so steel bikes back then. But yeah, I was a roadie forever. When we started STS, the goal was to make. There was a company in Indianapolis called Shamrock Cycles.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, well, he retired and was like, "Hey, let's fill the void of what he was doing," because he was just made works of art. And I'm like, "Let's jump in there." But it was a guy, his name's Steve Hirschberger, who said we need to make gravel bikes. And I swore when the day he came down to visit us, I'm like, "We'll never make a gravel bike. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of." And then I was like, well, let's at least try it and see if he knows what he's talking about. Which is, I mean, that's kind of the thing for me. Is like, if somebody has an idea, let's check it out and see if it's good. But yeah, the steel bike on gravel, it's ridiculous. It's so good. But yeah, I was a roadie for a long time, and I'm not the most comfortable on the gravel, but it's fun. It's interesting.
So what makes it awkward? Because geometry can fix that. So yeah, what on the gravel makes it weird?
It's this thing right here. I've got a history of 16 concussions, so
Yeah.
I don't want to fall and hit the ground again. So
Yeah.
it just abject fear. But like, and I think for a few years when we were doing gravel stuff, we had a guy as a friend out in Missouri. His name's Matt Smith, and Matt was all about telling us, "Hey, we got to do wider tires. Got to do wider tires." And we were doing rides around cornfields, chip and seal, and then going up to Josh's area. And a lot of that was smooth. And so like a 38 mil tire seems huge for us. But the more that we've learned, the more that we've grown, and you get into, having that wider tire, dealing with the geometry to get yourself more stable. It's made a huge difference. But yeah, in terms of the comfort aspect of being on gravel, for me, it's just, I'm not gonna crash. I'm gonna be very, very cautious. Is my thing.
Well, that's like I mean, Tim can attest to this. I'm a very fearful person. Like I've broken a lot of bones in my face, and like
You could see it,
Yeah. Yeah, all the things. But yeah, I'm fearful and like, but I also like have been keeping up with you guys for a number of years and gotten fitness where I can go on a faster ride and do things. But like I do not want, like, my life and my paycheck and my employee's paycheck is gone if I fall and break everything. Like it's over. So like
Yep.
the things that really, like, on a bike, well, obviously I'm into bigger tires. Like a bigger tire, like, you can have more fun. You can run into things that you weren't expecting and survive them. And like the reason I was like slack on the head tube and stuff like that is, you can hit things and your bars don't jerk. And that's like I've been playing with gravel bikes and well, the Gunner and stuff like that, where it's getting into that 70, 69, 68, stuff like that, where it's not a downhill bike. It's not a, like the new mountain bikes are like 64 degrees or something, where they're in a ski resort or something going down.
Yes.
But that slackness, because I'm not a motorcycler, I going downhill, I get sketched out. But seeing the wheel being out there, where if I grab a handful of brakes, the back wheel's not picking up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not making me feel like, oh hey, I was about 3 minutes from having to rewrite my entire business plan for me being a vegetable.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And so those little things, and and then also the dropper post, the longer chain stays, a little lower bottom bracket, like you're just more planted, and it's like you can just roll down a big hill, relax, and the bike's got you. And I feel like back in the day, riding road bikes or cross bikes or early mountain bikes, you're going down the hill and your skill is the only thing keeping you alive.
That's why 90s mountain bikes, when everyone's like, that's just a gravel bike, I'm like, being cantilever over your front wheel makes no sense for a mountain bike. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah,
like
150 millimeter stem.
Yeah. But same thing, like once I got the Gunner, and I borrowed it from you, and he originally had the whiskey carbon mustache bars.
Yeah.
And I rode that, and I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I could bunny hop for the first time in my life. Like, there's these little things of like the way the bike handled. And then, so when he gave me the frame, we traded it for some work. And I was like, I can't build it up with this posh bike owner like build you have here, but let's approximate this. Like, and it was like, yeah, we went out to Jake's Rocks, which is mountain biking. And I was like, you were like, you just had like a foot of air off the ground. And it was like, not a mountain bike even, just an ATB that like made me just so much more comfortable doing stuff that, yeah, I don't know, when I wasn't like up over the, like you said, over the
Yeah,
wheel.
you're not stretched out. Yeah.
Up over the, yeah. No, because like a lot of what I do riding around here is I've got a 25-mile route that I'll do all the time in the summer. And I mean, I don't have to look, you know, there's a couple of small hills. There's not a lot of, there's one hill going down to a covered bridge that you kind of have to pay attention to because in the summer it'll get very moist and slick with like moss down at the bottom. But yeah, it's just, you know, I ride with my thumbs together and you don't have to think about it. So yeah, when you go from doing that kind of thing to something where you're going down real hills, you're turning real corners, going on trails, it takes you out of your comfort zone. And so you want to have that, you want to have a bike that makes you feel like you can handle it, which is kind of what we did the Cowpie Classic up there in Ionia. It was Ionia, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they do a section where it goes into the woods, and our buddy Speedy caught me on one of the dirt roads, and then we rode together to the trails, and he dropped me like a bad habit in the woods because I was so uncomfortable. And I don't want to say Speedy was a stronger rider than me, even though it's true. But yeah, that comfort level, you know, I think sometimes people just go buy a bike, they don't think about it as to what they're going to do, what they need to do. And you kind of just look at the marketing of big companies and you just go buy something. I don't know. I a lot of what we're talking about these days, I really like. I like the idea of, you know, the bike fitting what you're doing, fitting the person, fitting the ride, fitting the terrain that you're going to do. I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it. You know, with genuine reaction when we were riding this ATV for the first time.
Yeah, I really like the Swiss Army knife idea too, because like I said, just coming back from like where me and Ben were just riding, and then we turn on it's an abandoned road, and I'm like, man, there's no other bike I own that would have got me up this hill, you know, I would have been pushing, and the fact that I was like, no, I'm upright enough, I've got the right gears, like I've got the right tires, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go slow, and I'm gonna pick my line, but I'm gonna make it up, and then I'm also gonna have fun on the smooth gravel road, so it's like, I don't know, that's just it's a really cool space that opens up so many opportunities. And it's like I said, it's kind of the reason I have a wall of road bikes hanging over here that I love and think are cool. But even when I go out for a road ride now, I grab my gravel bike because I'm like, maybe I want to take that cut on the way home. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm going to want to, you know, I don't want to limit my options anymore, you know.
No, I totally agree with that. I mean, I don't know. I've got a collection of road bikes out at the shop, and they're all frames. Nothing's built up anymore. And when I go back, and the interesting thing to me, which is I love the fact that we have Strava, because I can go back. Before we started the bike company, I actually was riding on a carbon fiber road bike from a company named after a big hole in the ground. But the bike that I ride now with a 40 mil tire is faster. And, you know, you're talking 10 years ago. So 10 years younger, and I can go back and look at it and compare the same routes. And when I'm on a steel bike with a 40 mil tire, I'm quicker. So I don't know, like, sometimes I kind of wonder what is it that you're trying to get when people are looking at buying a bike. For a lot of the world, a road bike's just terrible. It's uncomfortable. But again, you know, like I talked about my friend Matt Tanner. part of the year he lives in Indianapolis near areas where it's smooth pavement, and so yeah, he wants to ride that road bike. But man, out here, give me that 40 mil. The smallest tire I'll go with is a 38 mil Terravel Rampart, and it's quicker. It's faster than the GP 5000 30 mil carbon fiber. I hate that company, but I'm not going to say their name. But yeah, I don't know. It's comfortable. It's quicker. And you don't lose that much speed when you go to bigger tires. I don't know why you wouldn't do it, you know?
No, I mean, like, the tour riders, like Pogacar and stuff too, with the wider rims, even when those tires are saying they're 28s, those things are measuring out to like 30 and 32s now. Yeah.
Huge.
And some are going even wider, like the younger riders who have no predisposition to what is supposed to be fast, like, you know, they're all going with the wider stuff. And you look at all the clearances on all the modern road bikes, they just keep bumping it up and up and up. The science is there. Like, it doesn't feel as fast. That's the problem. It doesn't, like banging yourself over pavement to the human feels fast. Like that is, we interpret that as speed. It's not. That's lost energy. If you're feeling yourself banging up and down, that is lost energy. Like if you're smoothing out all those bumps, right? That's speed. So
well, that's what our bike does, you know. Guy that his nickname's Thor, he would go and ride, and he'd get in the front of the peloton every time we'd be in a Michigan Gravel Series race, and he'd say every time they turn a corner, he'd walk away from the group. You know, now he wasn't. He had a real job, 4 kids, so he couldn't train all the time. The potential was there, but people would catch him. But he's like, for some reason, when I'm turning the corner and we start putting power down, we're quicker. I'm like, yeah, we're quicker. We're connected to the road. The steel bike, you know, eats up the vibration. The testing that we've done, carbon versus steel, we're faster by a lot. It's just the way that the big companies want to make their bikes.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing is, I mean,
that's even what one of our other riders said. You know, he was a younger kid, and he's doing, you know, gravel racing through high school, and he got on one of our bikes, and you know, he's just like, every pedal stroke, I feel like it's doing something. I don't feel any wasted energy. It feels like I'm actually, you know, every pedal stroke is doing something. I'm not losing any energy into it. And it is. You definitely feel that.
Yeah. And also just the comfort is fast thing too. You do an endurance ride, and if you're beat up and you're tired, that is not good for going long distances, you know. Like me and Ben were saying on our last tour, we were going into the easiest gears when we hit almost any steep hill, because we were going to be out there all day. Like, you know what I mean? We're doing 90-mile days with a load and all that stuff. It's like, what is the benefit towards, even like, if you think like stiff bottom bracket and power transfer and all these things people talk about, the big brands talk about, it's kind of a scam, because you're just going to get yourself beat up and you're going to be exhausted, and yeah, that's not fast. So
You drank all the beers.
yeah, I drank all the beers.
Oh, okay.
You drank some of them too. I thought you were going to bring some.
So did I. Here we are.
What do you got? It's about 10:30. I don't know. What do you guys have any like kind of closing thoughts on like the whole project? Like, what are your next steps? So you're going into the second iteration. You're going to go and try out, I guess.
Yeah, we got a couple things we got to try out to make sure we know. You know, got to make sure we know what we got. And then the biggest part of that next step is going to a different size, and then having, you know, like we've talked about, we're going to bring one to you guys to see what you guys think of it. And then I think that, you know, once we know we got it, you know, we'll put it out on the website and hopefully start moving a couple of these things.
Heck yeah. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I
So what
would
color do you want?
Green,
green.
green, or brown.
I thought you were a big silver guy. Why is my gunner a stupid silver color then?
Oh, that's in the top 3.
I'm like the loud guy. I like my bikes to be pretty loud, you know, like
What?
oh, man. But yeah, you're very subdued. Because Gunner has like John's like electric blue, and
Yeah.
like you got yours painted silver.
Yeah. I like the trespass.
Yeah.
Well, Josh says he's going to make mine. What is it? It's a crazy orange, isn't it?
We're doing that bronze.
Ooh,
It's a bronze and has a lot of.
nice.
It's got a lot of depth to it. It's got some greens and some oranges into it. It's a pretty unique color. So we're gonna do that, and the stays are gonna be kind of like black, so it's gonna have like black tips on it.
Andy, you're
As
the
long as it's
painter
not
though, right?
bronze skin.
Go ahead.
Oh, if we do wet paint, we do that down here, but we hardly ever do wet paint anymore. It's all powder coating.
Okay, so Josh, you fabricate and then powder coat, or do you have?
Yeah,
Okay.
As soon as it's a family affair because as soon as we get his dad to retire, which is coming up pretty soon, he's going to be our powder
Oh, really?
Oh,
powder coater and CFO. He doesn't really. He's not accepted it, but he's going to be in charge of the money.
oh, I want because your Crusaders had a really beautiful tapered head tube. Are you gonna do something like that, or are you gonna do more like a traditional like 44 head tube so you can kind of slap anything in there?
Well, that's been a part of the discussion. We did the 44 head tube on the first one, and neither one of us likes it. So
Yeah.
we'll probably I would probably rather do head tube stock than what I've got on it right now. But I don't know. We can get some pretty cool looking head tubes. That taper looks really nice. There's about 3 that we use.
yeah. I like the taper. I like the way that it looks. Everything fits right into it. And yeah, that's what we did. We did the 44, and it worked. It just doesn't. It doesn't have that. It looks the size of our tubing for the rest of the bike, and then the size of that head tube was really kind of misproportioned. I thought just as an aesthetic look onto it.
Yeah.
Whereas like what Andy was saying, if we just got regular head tube stock, that's going to be a little smaller diameter on the outside that then we could, look a little better aesthetically.
Yeah.
Because
One of the things I was thinking, it popped up is maybe when you're doing the first couple runs is run the 44 and get one of those angle sets. And then you can mess around. You can run it forwards or backwards, and you can mess with head tube angle, and then see if you want to be like alt slack. So you're just like you can take a nap on an Indiana farm road because it's never going to turn, or downhill or whatever. Or if you're like, this is good, but I want it to feel more fun, and then you flip it backwards, and you got your 70, 71, and you're like, something
Twitchy.
like that. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you got a 44 head tube, maybe get Yin's one of them angle sets and start farting around.
So what is the gunner? Because like a lot of people have talked about like just visually, like they say like fat guy with skinny jeans when they talk about the fork, the way it goes into the, which I agree with. It like if there's a bag up front, it helps like lessen it, but it does. It has an awkward.
Yeah.
Is that a 44?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yep.
Yeah, that's the bigger straight head tube that you can run a tapered fork, you can run a suspension fork, or you can run a straight with reducers.
And that's also the difference between like a unicrown versus something like, I really think like lugged or biplane forks really, when it comes to looks, like really class up a bike, whereas when you just have the traditional unicrown, it's fine, but it doesn't look cool. It just doesn't look cool. There's no two ways about it. Like, right? I mean,
It looks fine.
it looks fine. My gunner looks fine in the front. It looks fine. Fat guy in skinny jeans. Fine.
It looks fine.
I definitely think when it comes to color, I don't know, but like definitely a fade. Like it would definitely be like something from the front to the back type fade. Like I
Well,
And
for
never-
Josh's nephew, he did zombies again.
is that the one you did? Is that the one you guys had in the back seat of the car? You showed me the one that. Oh,
No,
that was a
No,
flame.
well, that was one that I made for my one that I did from my nephews.
Now, the one in the back seat of the truck was that was hand painted ghost flames. That was, oh my gosh, yeah. His dad wanted he looked at an old
Like a old
Pickup.
like roadster. You know,
Yeah.
he wanted
black with
So he
cherry
had-
flames.
yeah, he wanted the black cherry and dark cherry and black, and he wanted the handlebar wrap and the seat to be, you know, leather and
Yeah,
have that. So
yeah. Our local
he
artist.
took the color of the flames and then actually had someone do ghost flames on it,
Yeah.
and they came out phenomenal.
Yeah, a lady in our building. She's an actual artist, and she did the ghost flames. It's ridiculous.
Were there
She'd be
actual
happy to
like
do it.
particles of dead people in the flames? Is what the world wants to know.
Probably took long enough. It probably did.
I really think it's so funny when it comes to color. Like red and blue are my favorite. I could picture even those classic Ritchie red, white, and blue frames. They're like blue, white, red in the back. But the other thing I love is pink, and I'm just like all pink, like just like loud as hell. That's what I've been doing with the gunners, like all the touches. It's kind of a boring silver frame.
Kind of
So
a boring
all-
silver frame.
It's not kind of. It's completely a boring silver frame. So all the touches are like pink, and then I'm like, do I go full on pink, like Giro d'Italia winter bike? Like.
Oh, there you go.
Nahirosa.
I've got a powder coat that's called mermaid candy, and it's kind of blue with like pink sparkles in
I
it.
think that's your
nice.
move.
Speaking my language.
Yep. It's your siren song.
I thought was it Aaron that wanted purple?
Aaron's everything's purple with Aaron.
Yeah, Kelly too. Yeah.
Oh,
We got some good purples too. If you look at our mountain bike that we've got, that's an awesome purple.
we need blue and gold. That's what you need.
I would. Blue
I mean,
and
once
gold.
you start heading
done lots
down
of
blue and
silver.
Go ahead. That's also Kent State, though. That's
could
where.
be a maze
Yeah.
in blue.
Notre Dame. Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent a weekend in
Well,
North South Bend.
North South Bend.
Yep.
You've been to North South Bend before?
Yep. They have a nice.
I've been in Indiana for 50 years. It's been the only football team we've had until this year. So
Wait, what's the new one?
IU, man.
It's more red than dead.
Yeah. What's Brian's bike was red for the Cincinnati Reds, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he long history of being a Reds fan. His dad was he talked about his dad being the general manager of Riverfront Stadium.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some cool stories of running around there as a kid. And like, oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, for us, we want to get things right for people. So we made him a bike. The reason we came to meet you is I picked the color out and I was wrong. It looked like Dorothy's ruby slippers, and it was supposed to be Cincinnati Reds. So, I mean, he wrote it, and then I'm like, yeah, let's fix it because it wasn't what he wanted. But yeah, if we make a bike for somebody, we're going to get it right.
Yeah, I think I go with the experimental. You got me the seat collar that I was like, I want it on the
Oh,
gunner. And
what
what
was it
is
called? Zombie Barbie Pink?
Toxic Barbie Pink.
Yeah.
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 But
Well, I mean, if it was ruby red slippers, you could have just dropped a house on them and then it'd be the right color.
there you go.
That's what Andy said. Richie P29 with the red, white, and blue is available right now. Huh.
Oh, that's so much.
Yeah, that was like one of their classic. It reminds me of that. What was that? The rocket pop you
Bomb
could get
pop.
from the bomb pop from the ice cream truck. when you
Oh
were a kid.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm not as big of a white guy, so it's just like I am a pretty big white guy, but just like the red and blue is like a big. That's always been like my band. When I was in a band, I did everything. All our logos were just very red and blue, kind of very British, Union Jack type vibe.
Oh, cool.
But pink would be also high on my list. It's something loud. Also, we got make it stand out. If we're gonna sell the brand, everyone's what is that pink bike?
We can do some mermaid candy with what's my buddy. He does powder coating too. He's got a beach Barbie pink or something like that.
Yeah. Sounded good.
I think you just nailed it, Josh.
Yeah. What would your like if you were going right now? What would your color be on the spot? Like if you're going to get a bike, what color?
Oh, bass boat green.
Bath boat green.
Bass boat green, like sparkle green. That's my favorite.
They have powder coat like that. I've got to do a yellow one like that.
Mm-hmm.
We've
here
done
soon.
yeah, we've done basketball yellow.
I actually have that frame.
Oh no way.
This one's wet paint, but it's bass boat with
Oh yeah,
Oh look how they
All
changed
the
it in the
sparkles.
light.
that's like a Bass Pro Shops tracker right there. Oh yeah, that's nice.
yep.
Man, I was a farmer for years and I loved the John Deere stuff, but they've just become such a trash company that I couldn't stomach it anymore. They become like a non-repair company. Like,
But this is like if John Deere was a drag queen. That's
yeah,
what I'm going.
That's
for.
what I like. That was different. Yeah. John Deere was a. That's
I want sparkles with new facets from every angle. That's what I'm looking for.
We've done, so our one of our other business partners, the guy that put all the money into this, he's got a 1920s John Deere in his barn, and so we did a John Deere bike for him.
Oh really? No way.
Yeah, the tractor's probably pretty cool compared to the bike.
Yeah, we had at the farm I worked at. We were all John Deere, but back in the day, they were all Oliver, which was much more of a company that
yeah.
did both your areas too. And I like loved the old Oliver like colors. They had they were green but with red wheels and all that stuff. They were so cool. Their style was just little touches of yellow too. But yeah, Oliver went out of business. They got bought out by White. Whatever. I'm not going to go down this road. Anyways, I'm a real nerd about my tractor.
I'm here about the tractor content.
Yeah.
I stayed to 1050 for the tractor content.
Yeah. At some point,
Maps. We haven't done any maps yet, so. But
awesome, guys. Well, I say we wrap it up. It's getting kind of late. So glad you came on. So cool to talk to. Like, I just think it's so unique what you guys are doing. Like, steel, custom bikes, designed for the rider, but also not through the roof expensive.
Yeah, Otis was joking with the $12,000 thing. That's
Yes. By the way,
you started this.
that was me. Me.
He started this.
I came back from Connecticut. That's the land of Richard Sachs and J.P. Weigel. Those are different. Yeah.
Yeah. No. This. Yeah. Like that. People talk about frame materials and stuff like that, and it's like steel is not touchy, and when you have the skills that you guys have, like you can make it ride as fast or feel as smooth or feel as durable as anything, and for a very reasonable amount of money. And then you can paint it like Barbie dying in an apocalyptic wasteland, which apparently is his favorite color.
Standy
So-
became a member. Standy celebrates
I don't-
56
I think
months
we've
of
only
membership.
done one bike
STS
that has
ATB
pink on it.
prototype head tube angle is
No, we've done
69.
two. We've done two
Nice.
pink. One was a very sweet lady. We did a pink bike for her, and then we did a white bike with pink logos. So we can take care of you, Tim. We can get you a pink bike.
Yep.
Awesome, guys. Well, we'll be in touch. We'll be chatting soon, and hopefully ride again soon. Well, I know, Andy, you don't ride over the winter, but still ride in the spring. But, but yeah,
It's
awesome.
too cold.
Yeah, I went out last night for the remembrance of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and I'm like, I'm at least gonna ride to dinner. And man, I was so glad Aaron met me, and I was not riding home because it was
Yeah, we rode in pure rain on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
I had a great time, but yeah, it was still pure rain. Yes.
I'm gonna embrace it. I'm gonna embrace it. It's fine. It's fine. It's dark at 4:30. It's fine. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll be in touch.
Definitely.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Have an awesome night. Bye.
Thanks.
See ya.
See ya.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is where I just came.
Fitzwater photo.